YouTube, what's going on? HeirofCarthage here. I haven't played a lot of battles recently. Number one, because I've been filming a crapload of campaign. I'm really trying to get Belegar and Skarsnik handled before the Wood Elves make it here, because I want a clean slate to start with on them. And then, yeah, so I've been playing a lot of that. I've also been trying to beat all my games on the Wii U. Now, some of you probably think I'm crazy for owning a Wii U, period, but hey, I'm an older guy. I grew up with Nintendo, so I still like it. So I had to beat Twilight Princess and some of the other games that I've still got on there. The Twilight Princess HD was awesome, too. It was a blast from the past, playing through all that. Finally beat it tonight, but yeah, I'll be back with some more of my own replays. But till then, I wanted to take a look at some of these replays that some viewers had sent me. We got Danky Dave here, coming in as Chaos, going up against the Dwarfs under the leadership of... Is that the Iron Hammer? I think it is. So if we take a look here, 4 Marauders with great weapons. Looks like they're backed up by aspiring champions. Nice combination against the Dwarfs, I think. Extra anti-armor. And then 4 Chaos Warriors with great weapons. We've got a Chaos Sorcerer of Fire. Sigvald leading the way. This is kind of an interesting choice because Sigvald's a duelist. And he's got Regenerate now. And he should be able to regenerate pretty good. I like the Fire Sorcerer pick too. And then there's 3 Trolls backing up the Warriors. If they stay with the Warriors, that'll be good. And let's see, the Dwarf here has picked 2 cannons. Looks like 2 gyrocopters on the field. That's going to be a mess for Chaos because they have nothing to do. One has a brimstone gun, the other does not. So the gyrocopter without the brimstone gun should probably target the Chaos Marauders or the Trolls. Oh no, they're both brimstone guns. They should target the Trolls or one of the Lords then, because they have a bonus versus large and they're good against armor. Yeah, already picking apart some of the Trolls here. So not a bad choice for the gyrocopters. Also, their bombs could be devastating in the fight, so we'll see how that works. The front line for the Dwarfs. Looks like 1 Longbeard and 3 Warriors. And the Warriors had some upgrades. I see 2 Thunderers, a Peak Gate Guard on his right flank, and on his left flank, a Dragonback Slayer. And the Lord is indeed Belegar. Now, interesting here, no Thane, no Runesmith. An odd choice for a Dwarf to come without that hero support. But he spent the extra money on gyrocopters and the Peak Gate Guard. Let's see if it pays off for him. The aspiring champions are going to try to keep these Marauders in the fight longer. A little bit early here on the Cascading Fire Cloak, though I like it. They're going to hit that damage on the charge. Maybe it's better for them to just hit that damage on the charge, because they were both in place whenever the charge damage came in. So perhaps that'll work. Hardly any kills, though, from the Marauders. The aspiring champions, like I said, though, it'll help keep the Marauders there a little bit longer. You can see it's kind of holding their leadership together. Here comes Sigvald. Looks like he's targeting... He's not targeting Belegar. Fire Sorcerer is just going to stand right behind the lines. Some of the Marauders already breaking, but here comes the second line. Now, these Peak Gate Guard are going to be a mess to deal with. I would have tried to keep a couple of Trolls free to deal with them, because these Chaos Warriors with great weapons are going to get absolutely flat by the Peak Gate Guard. Look at that, the cannons just sitting back, 26 kills on one, 19 on the other, and then the Thunderers are trying to fire away, and they are getting a little damage done. They could easily deal with the Trolls, that's for sure. Let's kind of see what happens. The Peak Gate Guard taking a little more losses than you would think to these Chaos Warriors. It's pretty unimpressive for such an expensive unit. These Chaos Warriors going to get into the cannons back here, so this is nice. Nothing back here for the Dwarfs to defend. The Dragonback Slayers actually getting a pretty fair number of kills here. Once they're up against an armored unit, though, they're going to start to fall apart, I think. The Gyrocopter's not bombing the Chaos Infantry during the fight either, which I believe would have been quite helpful. So the Peak Gate Guard finished those guys off, but lost a decent chunk of their health here. They have racked up 60 kills. These Chaos Warriors back here are actually wavering because they're getting hit point blank by another cannon. Fire Sorcerer throwing in the Cascading Fire Cloak. Again, this is a nice move. Peak Gate Guard out here getting hit by a returning Marauders with great weapons. Good way to just pin them down a little bit longer and chip away at a few more of their hit points. The Gyrocopters have pretty much ruined the Trolls. Belegar is in a duel here with Sigvald. Sigvald's regenerate is going to be very handy for him here. Let's see if we can spot Sigvald. It said he was in the fray over here somewhere. There's Belegar. Actually, yeah, here's Sigvald. Okay. Alright, so Belegar and Sigvald are duking it out. And it looks like Belegar is fleeing. So yeah, Belegar is going to actually, or he's either fleeing or no, he's going for a different engagement. Just trying to get away from that. So Sigvald is doing pretty well. And like I said, that regenerate will help him out a lot. Whereas Belegar has nothing to fall back on. As he gets damaged, that's going to be it for him. This Peak Gate Guard has gotten 108 kills here. I don't know if it's paid off just yet, but it's certainly at least doing something. Now look at this, the gyrocopter's being thrown into melee here. I don't know if they've dropped their bombs. I don't think they have. If they did, they didn't get a whole lot of kills with them. Check it out, here comes Sigvald trying to chase down Belegar. Belegar just running away. I don't think Dwarfs would approve of such a thing. And now Sigvald's just going to get hit by the firing line. There he goes, he gets into combat there. Again, his replenishment here is going to be pretty critical. Now he's going to actually go over here after Belegar. Yeah, the duelist ability and then the regen. I think it'll make Sigvald actually a pretty fair match. More than a match for Belegar. Let's check it out here. I think Sigvald's going to take him out here at any moment. Belegar's going to run. So he's forced out of the fight, and Sigvald should be able to take these guys in melee. Yeah, I feel like the dwarf player here made a couple of errors. Like, it seems like his gyrocopters haven't dropped their bombs, or else they should have a whole lot more kills. And throwing him into melee like that is definitely not an optimal use, especially not against armored targets like Chaos. This is allowed. Yeah, I mean, the bombs being dropped on these infantry would have pretty much taken them completely out of commission. Peak Gate Guard got a lot of kills. It's hard to say whether or not the kills were worth it. I sometimes wish that instead of telling you how many kills, or not, I like knowing how many kills a unit gets, but it'd be nice to know how much damage they got during a battle, like how much damage they inflicted on top of kills, because then it would tell more of a story in Warhammer, since some units have so few unit models. Now, this back here, there's a regroup Thunder, and if this Thunder would get away from Sigvald, it could pull back and actually do considerable damage here. And this gyrocopter, if it hasn't dropped its bombs, the bombs could be very critical. Let's see what happens. So I don't think it's looking great for the Dwarfs, but Chaos has lost most of its troops here too. Belegar just died though, so that's probably going to sour everything. Yep, that's going to do it. So the Dwarfs let their missile units get overtaken there, and there was really no need for them to do so. The only fast-moving unit that Chaos had was the Trolls, so I think the lesson learned here for the Dwarf is they spent a lot of money here on ranged units. You had, between the cannons and the gyrocopters, the Thunders, the Rangers, you had 7 ranged units, and none of them really got used optimally. I mean, the Brimstone guns got some work done versus the Trolls, which was nice. But then they didn't follow up with their bombs, at least not that I saw. And, I mean, the number of kills here means that even if they did use their bombs, they weren't used well, because there was plenty of Chaos Infantry blobs for them to be used on. Also, I mean, I kind of feel like that the money spent on a Peak Gate Guard isn't worth it in the end. Even though it gets a lot of kills, I would question it, because you could get, I think, maybe 1 cannon would have been plenty, and then trade out the Peak Gate Guard for just another regular infantry unit and actually throw in a Runesmith. And a Runesmith will help you get your money's worth real quick, because of all the extra protection and buffs and everything they give your men. To me, it would make up for the fighting prowess of a Peak Gate Guard, because you get extra kills and extra life out of your other units. On the part of the Chaos player, interesting pick versus the Dwarfs, and I can't say that I dislike it by any means. There was no protection against gyrocopters, but I don't blame a Chaos player. Sometimes they just want to rush in. You do have to be careful, though. If those gyrocopters use their bombs against your rush, you will be in big trouble, because they can cause a lot of damage. They're a lot more powerful. The pick of Sigvald versus the Dwarfs is kind of interesting, too. He's a smaller target and a little less obvious, and then the regeneration is kind of a nice way to make sure he would not get as easily overwhelmed by multiple dwarf heroes, which could be likely. And then I like the support of the aspiring champions backing up the marauders with great weapons. So anyway, interesting replay. Appreciate Danky Dave for sending that one in. Hope you all enjoyed it. What do you all think? What do you like to do in a Chaos versus Dwarfs matchup? Do you like to air spam with Chaos? Do you like bringing the gyrocopters as the Dwarfs? How do you like to play that out? I mean, personally, sometimes I like bringing the gyrocopters, but now that Chaos is more of an air faction, I tend to stray away from the gyrocopters, and I just tend to bring Thunderers. I think Thunderers can be pretty useful versus Chaos. Quarrelers are a cheaper way to go and can kind of get the same job done. But typically, if you can just bring some good skirmishers, in my opinion, with the Dwarfs, take out the mobile Chaos units, and then you should be able to use your skirmishers to pick apart the rest of their stuff. Of course, Chaos's armies are a little more varied these days, and it can be a little more tricky to deal with them. Like I said, curious to see what you think. Hope you all enjoyed this. You all are awesome viewers. Thanks for coming in every day and watching the videos. I appreciate it. I love making this for you. Appreciate MSI sponsoring the build that I'm recording with, and appreciate them helping me bring you high quality videos. HeirofCarthage signing out. I'll see you next time.